What is really good, everybody? The Washington Wizards dropped their fourth and final preseason game tonight, 134-98 to the Toronto Raptors. A lot of issues to talk about, but hey, look forward to the start of the regular season. But a lot of things do need to change in a short amount of time. So we're going to look at the good, the bad, and the ugly, and at the end, we're going to chop it up like we always do. Next on Locked On Wizards.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Brandon Scott again. The real Ed Oliver is taking the night off. He was so upset with this showing that he had to take the night off, man. But he is definitely ramping up for the regular season. We are both looking forward to the season opener against the Indiana Pacers. But let's go ahead and hit the stop button because the fourth and final preseason game tonight, the Washington Wizards get humbled in Toronto, 134-98. So we're going to look at the good, the bad, and the ugly real quick. And then we're going to keep it short and simple. It's Friday night. You know, TGIF, I know everybody's trying to pop bottles, so let's go ahead and just talk about it and chop it up at the end and call it a night. So, again, the Washington Wizards humbled 134-98 to the Toronto Raptors. And, there was some deficiencies, some that we've seen all preseason and, one that kind of just popped up. So let's get into the good, right? Looking at the stat line for the Washington Wizards, Deni Avia was the guy, the man on the mission tonight. He scored 18 points on just 19 minutes, shooting 7 for 14 from the field and 4 from 7 from 3, 7 rebounds. So Deni, he did have 3 turnovers, but he led all scorers. Deni, his shot looked better. I mean, obviously this is his first significant minutes game of the preseason rather, but his shot looked good as far as he shot 50% from the field, but 4 for 7 for 3. Deni looked good. All right. But looking at the rest of the starting unit, Tyus Jones, 11 points, shooting 5 for 11, 3 assists, kind of overwhelming, 3 turnovers. Usually he kind of keeps the turnovers down to a minimum, but tough night for him. Really tough night for the pool party. Coming off a 41-point game against the Knicks, kind of a colder night. 1 for 15 from the field, 0 for 6 from 3. I guess he shot 5 for 5 from free throws, so that's one positive. But we all know how Jordan Poole rolls. When he's good, he is immaculate. When he's bad, he's bad. And look, you're gonna have to expect nights like this. Bilal Coulibaly, played 24 minutes, but shot 1 for 5 from the field, 0 for 3 from 3. So a very underwhelming game for him. Gafford, 6 points for. So the starting unit is very underwhelming. Very underwhelming. And we're going to get into the team stats right after this. But looking at the second unit, man, look, another shout out to Amarui. Eugene from Eugene, 5 for 8, shooting 1 for 2 from 3, 16 points in 12 minutes. He's a dog. He's somebody that we really have to look at, maybe giving him, small minutes, but we got to fit him into the rotation, especially with the injuries. I mean, see how he fits with the second unit, but he's a player that we got to keep around, y'all. Look at the stats. Gallinari, 11 points, 13 minutes, shooting 4 for 9, 1 for 3, and 1 for 4 for 3. So, again, overall, I mean, you can look at DeLon. DeLon looked good. He shot 1 3-pointer, 9 points for him and Corey Kispert. So they pitched in where they could, but overall, very underwhelming game. Let's get into the team stats because, I mean, we're going from the bad or the good to the bad and the ugly. Lord have mercy. So looking at team stats, the Toronto Raptors were able to shoot 40% from 3. Now, if you notice, man, bad rotations. They caught a lot of us on the wing sleeping. The Grady Dick was hitting them. I mean, the list goes on. They shot 40% for 3 on the perimeter. They smoked us on the perimeter. And it just came down, in my opinion, it came down to slow rotations. If you watch them, it's just the rotations are slow. We're not rotating out to the perimeter, and they tagged us. They killed us on the perimeter tonight. Looking at some more team stats that stood out to me, rebounding continues to be an issue. Me and Ed, we talked a lot about the center rotation. Daniel Gafford continues to show a lack of energy. He's getting outplayed. He's getting outmuscled. Muscala, while he's a stretch who, look, we learned from the Knicks game, he can shoot the 3-point shot, but that's about all he can do right now. Rebounding is, we got out rebounded 60-42. Offensive rebounds, they got us 14-11. Again, the paint is wide open for rebounding. If you look at points in the paint, 66 to our 52. They're killing us in the paint. Every single preseason game, we are giving up rebounds to everybody, including guards. The rebounds have to get better, man. We've got to get better. Turnovers, they actually out turnovered us, if that's a word, 16-14, but they capitalized by scoring 25 points for second chance points. And look at points off turnovers. Oh, excuse me. I kind of read it wrong. Let's see. They out turnovered us 16-10, but they got 16 points to our 14 points off for turnovers. So again, this is just an ugly game in the paint. The center position continues to just be an issue. Gafford just ain't it in starting position, and then starting center position to me. Muscala, again, he can shoot, but that's all he can really do. And look at the comments. Look, a couple of people said coaching. The lack of adjustments at halftime killed us. Looking at the points per quarter, the only quarter where we outscored them was the second quarter, and we outscored them by 1 point, 28-27. Third quarter, they scored 43 points to our 22. That's what killed us. Fourth quarter, 33-24. The lack of adjustments at halftime killed us. And this is on that is on West. The lack of adjustments. You've got to make those adjustments at halftime, man. You've got to make those adjustments. And the fact that he didn't, the same thing with Jordan Poole. Look, West, he's got to rein these guys in. He's the coach. When for a guy to have a bad shooting night, and it's going to happen. Look, we know how Jordan Poole rolls. Bad shooting nights are going to happen. But you've got to be able to say, look, man, slow it down, contribute in other ways, start driving the ball, start driving the lane. And then when they start collapsing, man, utilize other guys, man. Because again, Deni had a pretty good shooting night from three, shot 50% from the field. He looked confident tonight, man. I like what I saw from him, but and overall, the coaching has been decent from West Sunset, especially with his defensive system, because I felt that the defense has been high energy defense. Now, obviously, we don't have, not everybody's a high level defender like Bilal or Deni, but I saw a lot of effort on the defensive end, not tonight. Perimeter wise, as like the last couple of years with this team, they've killed us in the perimeter. Grady Dick, I know there's more than Grady Dick, but to me, he was the one that really took advantage of a lot of open looks from 3-point. So it was a tough night. It really was a tough night because it's not on West exclusively. I believe that he should have made adjustments at halftime. I think he should have reined in Jordan Poole a little bit. Obviously, Kyle Kuzma being out of the lineup, it hurt a little bit. We needed that second scorer outside of Deni because look, that's the question, man. Who outside of Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole, who emerges as a third and fourth scorer? Deni looked good. And I get that, a lot of people do want to see Bilal start at 3. I want to see him start eventually. He's shown a lot to where, has he done enough to earn a starting position? Yes and no. Bilal has looked immaculate in preseason, man. Immaculate. But to me, Deni, he has proven for the last 3 years that he can defend at a high level. And I think just based on not only that, but the fact that he's in a contract year. Look, if he wants to bag, to stay in DC, he's got to start, and that is where I'm at. I definitely think that Bilal is definitely a long-term starter for this team. Definitely, he's earned that. The defense is there, and the offense needs a little work. This was one of the really worst games for him offensively. He's getting off and on offensively, but defensively, I get that. But to me, I think you got to look at Deni at the 3 starting the season, and we'll go from there. So, ugly game tonight, guys. But overall, 3-1 for the preseason. Wednesday, opening night against the Pacers, ramping up for the regular season. But, look, here's another thing real quick I'm going to cover. You're going to have nights like this, man. This is a rebuild. This is year 1 of a rebuild. You're going to have more bad games than good games. So definitely put your seatbelt on and brace yourselves because you're going to see a lot of games like this. This season's not about wins or losses. It's more about, seeing these young guys grow. And that's where, especially Bilal, seeing, does Deni take that breakout? Does he have that breakout season? Kispert, can he add a little bit of defense? Johnny Davis, we'll see. He's still hurt. Shamit, he's still hurt. Kyle Kuzma should be good. So, this was definitely an ugly win, or no, I wish it was a win. Ugly game. It was ugly loss, man. But again, and I look at that, shout out to Red Wings 01, the lack of bigs, man. Daniel Gafford, I don't think is it, man. I get it, it's a rebuild, but Daniel Gafford ain't it, man. The center position is an issue. Rebounding and the lack of paint defense is an issue. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more. But before we get into comments, because I know a lot of people got some things to say, we're going to chop it up real quick. And I know it's Friday night, so just bear with your boy, man. But before we do, tonight's episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. So you ask yourself, how does Prize Picks, what is Prize Picks? Well, Prize Picks is actually the largest independently owned daily sports platform in North America. Prize Picks is the most fun I've had, winning up to 25 times my money this football season. I've been capitalized this NFL season. You just select 2 or more players, pick more or less their projected stats, and place your entry. Testing my skills on Prize Picks this football season is the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. If you had the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. I'm trying to tell you. Prize Picks is really simple to play. I can make my picks and submit my entry in less than 60 seconds. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, an enormous selection of players and stat types is what it's about. So to me, looking at the Commanders game against the Giants, 100 receiving yards, over and under for Terry McLaurin, I'm rolling with over. Rushing yards, 100 rushing yards for Brian Robinson, I'm going under. I don't think he's going to hit 100. If you look at the offense, man, they're not rushing the ball a lot. So I'm hoping that Eric Bieniemy kind of surprises me and proves me wrong, but we shall see. So, getting back to Prize Picks, definitely go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnNBA and lose code LockedOnNBA for the first deposit match up to $100. And again, go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnNBA and use code LockedOnNBA for the first deposit match up to $100. So again, we're gonna get it in the comments. Like I said, we're gonna keep them short and simple tonight, y'all. I know it's Friday, man. This bottle of bourbon is already looking at me strange, so I got to get on with it. But definitely appreciate you guys for rocking with me tonight. So let's get into it. And Edian says, I really like Jared Butler and Rollins. Baldwin and Xavier Cooks needs to go, and we need a center. I would say this. I still want to see what Patrick Baldwin Jr. can do. I think he still has a lot of potential. I have not seen enough to really make that determination for him to be waived. But Xavier Cooks, absolutely. I don't see what his fit is long-term on his team. Maybe you look at Anthony Gill. To me, those are the 2 guys that are the odd guys out. I don't, because everybody else is either a young guy or a guy on an aspiring deal that hopefully we're trying to flip for an asset. So I'm with you, man. Red Wings 01 said, I keep saying that it would have been nice if we bought out Vucevic. And yeah, I was one of the few rooting for Cooks, but it's just not working out. Maybe in the G League. Not even in G League, man. I think that was a really questionable signing under Tommy Shepard. And I know what you're going to say. He's had a lot of questionable moves, but, to give a multi-year deal to a guy who hadn't played 1 minute in the NBA was crazy. So I'm with you on that. Vucevic, I don't know the specifics, and I didn't know much about contracts till the season when it comes to EuroLeague or a lot of these overseas leagues, because it kind of reminds me of soccer, where because you can kind of lend players out, and so the specifics is unclear, but I think you definitely have to try to make that move. Try to see what you can do to bring him over here, because we need depth. We need a young guy that kind of mold for the center position, because going forward, look, year 1 of a rebuild, obviously Gafford is going to be it. But long term, to me, he's not a starter. And right now he's not showing any energy, man. He's being outplayed, outclassed. Wouldn't know what's going on, and like I said with Muscala, yeah, he can shoot, but you gotta contribute in other ways, man. You got guards and wings rolling there getting rebounds on you, man. You just looking clueless. The center position is right now. I'm not panicking per se, but that's the weak point. The center position is the weak point of this roster, and teams are going to capitalize on that, man. The paint is going to get hit heavy this year. Because right now Gafford just ain't shown it. All right, let's see. Again from Red Wings 01. We are really in for a roller coaster of Poole. Yeah, look, Poole is a high usage guy, man. Look, he's going to shoot the ball. Now, do I think that Wes Unseld needs to kind of rein him in, kind of push the notion of shooting more high percentage shots? Absolutely. Turnovers and a lot of ill-advised shots are what you're going to get from Jordan Poole. Now, I'm a big Jordan Poole fan. I think he's definitely part of the foundation for the future of this franchise. And I think that if you want to be competitive, I think he definitely has to be in the foundation of this franchise. But you know what you're going to get. Hopefully, Wes Unseld and this coaching staff can kind of mold him and get him into a more of a high efficiency player and really rein in these turnovers. Because the turnovers weren't the issue with him. Actually, surprisingly enough, it was Tyus Jones, which obviously Tyus Jones is the starting point guard, and his MO is lack of turnovers. So it was just an off night for him. I don't think that's really going to be his thing. I think turnovers aren't usually an issue with Tyus Jones, man. So I'm not concerned going forward. So let's see some more comments before we roll tonight. Let's see. You could tell the team hates playing with Poole. The signing was a big mistake. I mean, first, it wasn't a signing, it was a trade, but I'm not going to say that, man. I think he's a very exciting player now. Like, he's still young, and, he's still being molded as a player. He's not a complete package yet. We know the ill-advised shots, the turnovers. They're going to have to really find that chemistry. They're going to have to find, because in order for this thing to work, especially long-term, we're going to have to find that medium when it comes to Jordan Poole. We got to get him more efficient. He's got to be more of a distributor to a certain degree. He's not the point guard. He's a two guard, but, look, defense is still going to center around him and Kyle Kuzma as far as they're going to game plan for those two above everybody else. So he's got to utilize, and that's why I keep saying that we know who the number one and number two scorer is going to be. It's going to be Kuzma and Poole, but who emerges as the third and fourth option? Because that's the most important part to me, is that who these guys are going to kind of take up the slack when you have these all shooting nights from Kuzma and Poole. So is Deni that guy? Tonight he was. Is Bilal that guy? I think that long term he will be. So, definitely a good comment there. Get to Hillel Mogul. How you doing tonight? Where is the coaches? Somebody like Poole shoots 1 out of 15. Can he be replaced if having such a terrible night? I may be naive to ask him that, coach. No, I mean, it's not on West, man. But I'll say this, that the lack of adjustment at halftime showed. Toronto made those adjustments, and they came out gunning, and they came out blazing in the second half, and they got us. I think that if we made those adjustments and we showed a little bit of fight, it could have been a closer game in the second half. But look, man, it is what it is. Let's see. He also said, I'm glad Deni had a good game. Deni had a great game. Led all scorers with 18 points. He showed confidence with that 3-point shot. So could we see a breakout? Let's see. I mean, here's the thing. We have a good problem here in DC. Deni's in a contract year, but if he can show that the offensive game, then you've got a jewel in the rough. And same thing with Bilal. Bilal shows the offensive game. You got two guys who can be 3-and-D guys if they show up that offensive side. Obviously, Bilal has more time than Deni because Deni, there's a contract year. But, with these two guys, if Bilal and Deni can both find and be consistent on the offensive end, you got a couple of guys who are going to be locked down defenders, and they're going to make it tough on other teams going down the road, man. I'm trying to tell you. So, let's see. Daryl Hardy, what's going on, man? How you doing tonight? It's preseason. Gaff is what you have in the paint. Unfortunately, he is. They don't have a paint presence and need a center. Go get Kofi Cogburn. I'll say this. I'm with you, man. They got to find some depth. Taj ain't it. I know Taj is here to be more of a veteran presence, but we need somebody who's going to be able to defend the paint, man. And what we got ain't happening. I mean, every preseason game, we've been out-rebounded. Every preseason game, the paint is wide open. There's no effort. Muscala, yeah, I mean, getting back into it, and a lot of people saying, yeah, he can shoot. That's all he can do. Now, the center position is the weak point of this roster. And we've got to figure out what we got, man, because, look, Daniel Gafford, the extension kicked in this season. He's got to show something because, it's not guaranteed that he's a long-term piece either. And that salary could be a salary filler in the trade. I mean, saying I want to see more from Gaff. I'm a Gaff fan, man. As far as a person, his personality, big fan. As a player, he's got to evolve, man. He's got to add other elements to his game. He's got to get that dog back because the dog is left. I don't know what's going on with Gaff, man, but he's got to figure it out, man, because the center position is a concern right now. It really is a concern. Tyrell Hubbard, how you doing tonight, man? The lack of talent is killing us. The talent, we have talent. It's just putting it all together is the issue. We have talent. It's just it's just it comes, man. It's going to be a learning year. Go back to Poole. We know what Poole can. It's just they have to figure out the chemistry and how to play with each other, and it's going to come with this playing with each other in the regular season. Look, we are not going to be a very good team. You're going to see a lot more losses than wins. This season is all about what? Trying to see what we got with these expiring veterans, flip them assets, and then see what we really have with these young guys, man. And so, Poole, he's here, man. So they're going to figure it out. It just takes time and it takes playing together, man. So, we're in for a rough ride, especially before the deadline. They got to figure out how to play with each other, but I'm not too concerned. Poole is definitely going to be a great player here in DC. We know he is low efficiency right now. Turnovers an issue, but look, this guy, I really do believe this coach staff is going to coach him up. So I think in the long run, we're going to be all right. Looking at a few more comments. Definitely, hey, man, right now we have 60 people in the chat. It's a loss. Definitely appreciate you guys, man, on a Friday night. Rocking with your boy, man. Let's see. Red Wings getting on Poole. Everybody get on Poole tonight. Poole has a good game, and everyone has seen his praises. He has a bad game, and people want to run him out of town. Y'all are that. I mean, I still think that he is a potential all-star. I still think that he's going to light the league on fire. He has just got to be more efficient and really work on the turnovers, man. He's got to utilize the talent around him. I get it. He's not a point guard, but, as a guy who is going to be a focus of opposing defenses, he has to utilize who's around him. We've got to have a third, fourth guy emerge, man, because Poole's going to have these nights. Can Kispert, he can't do it alone. Deni's got to step up. Bilal's got to step up. Kispert's got to step up. I mean, you got to see more. Tyus, we often forget him, and maybe he needs to step up. Definitely use that float game. Collapse that defense. And really, we got to find those guys, man. They're really, when the Poole, Kuzma are both are having off nights, who emerges? That's who I'm looking for. Mikey Doves, what's good? Hey, Brandon, bright spot alert. Deni Avia. Deni, to me, earned that starting small forward position. Now, long term, could Bilal be a 2 guard and play with Deni? Could he overtake? It's a lot of questions, and I don't envy Wes Unseld, man, because he's got to make the decision before going to Indiana. But to me, just based off the fact that he's on an expiring deal and he's playing for an extension, and he's been in the league, this is year 4, he's got to start based on that alone. And I get it. Bilal looks on defense. Bilal's looking good, man. But, they both have to add that offense. And, tonight, Deni was the man tonight. I mean, hate him or love him, Deni was the man tonight, leading all scorers. So let's see. Let's get into it, man. Again, appreciate you guys. Gerald Hardy again. Deni is okay. He had too many turnovers, and he's definitely not a ball handler. Yeah. Let me see, man. Turnovers, yeah, we're an issue tonight. Ball handler, it depends on the matchup. There's times where he can handle the rock, and there's times where he can be overmatched on the defensive end as far as him being. So I can see where you're going with it. Let's see. Fabulous results. How you doing tonight? This is just what it's going to be like against competent teams. Yep. We need 20 wins in the top 4 pick. Yep. You hit the nail on the head. Against teams that are trying to compete, this is what the show is going to be. We are a young team. This is for people like myself who wanted to rebuild. I get it. Not every one of you guys wanted to rebuild. I did. Eventually, you got to hit the reset button, and you got to go through years like this. It's going to be a learning year, man. It's going to be a learning year. They're learning how to play with each other long term. They're learning. So I get it. And I see real quick. You said we're subpar for Sar. I mean, Sar, man. I like Sar too. He could be. I definitely think he's somebody to look for in the draft. I'm with you, man. I am with you on that. Red Wings again. You're very active tonight. I like it. The lack of bigs is going to be our Achilles heel. Gafford is not a true starter. Nope. I agree on all points. He is not the long-term starter. Let's see. D. Palmer said Gafford is a tank commander now. I mean, he's definitely in the driver's seat, man, because he's not looking like his energetic self, man. I mean, he had a lob, which I believe was the first points of the game. He got the lob, but he's got to be more than a lob threat, man. This is the modern NBA, man. Centers are be able to stretch the floor a little bit. He's got to add elements to his game if he really wants to be a starter. And I just don't see him being a starter long term. So I'm gonna do about 2 to 3 more because, like I said, I appreciate you guys rocking with me. It's Friday night, and I'm about to pop open this bourbon real quick. So definitely appreciate you guys rocking with me tonight. Let's see one. There you go. Shout out to my man E. Man, what's going on, Ed? How you doing tonight, brother? Everybody do a shout out to Ed, man. We are definitely gonna see him for the season opener, man. So definitely looking forward to that. I know we both are looking forward for the regular season to start. Mikey Dub said, Brandon Berman Scott, you got it, baby. Man, that is my dream. You got it. Any man said Ed in the house? Absolutely. What's going on, E? Let's see. A lot of good comments, man. Let's see. Poole feels selfish player who tries to build his next contract and nothing else. Well, I mean, I don't know if his next contract because I believe he's got a 4-year contract. So I mean, he's got the bag. So I mean, he's here. But I mean, selfish to a certain degree, I agree. He's definitely a high usage score first guy, and that's why I said that right now. Is he ready for point guard? Tyus is definitely the point guard. You know, if for everybody who wants to see Jordan Poole at point guard long term, he's got to deal with the turnovers. He's got to deal with the efficiency, man. You know, he's got to deal with the efficiency. Mikey Dub said, I'm spitting facts. Appreciate you. Let's see. Couple more comments. Oh, Edie and look, Kispert dunk was good. Look, Kispert, man, every once in a while, Kispert reminds you that he got little ups. I mean, he got little ups. He can definitely make a poster or two, man. I'm just saying, look, Kispert, man, with the cutting, you know, with the slashing, you know, he offensively is kind of the opposite of Deni and Bilal. You know, offensively, he's polished. There's defensively, can he be around average? And I think that, you know, he showed energy 3 out of the 4 preseason games. So, you know, let's see. Daryl Hardy back. I disagree. I think Poole had a bad night and players need to get adjusted. Only one seems to have an issue with Poole, and it's Deni. You know, kind of getting back to the whole issue with Poole and Deni. You know, like I said in the last episode, Deni has had issues with body language. He's a young guy. You know, he's got to understand his role. You know, Poole, him and Poole are there's a little bit of talent gap a little bit. You know, Poole is a guy who's has aspirations to be an all-star. And I'm not saying that Deni can't be an all-star. I'm hoping that's a goal for him and that's something he can play up to. I definitely think he's more of a role player. But a lot of people making here's the thing that the media they've been on us all year. You know, first was the Draymond Green and Jordan Poole thing. Now it's Jordan Poole and Deni. You know, it's just they got to learn how to play with each other. So if we have these issues at the midway point on, then you kind of look at it like, all right, what's going on with the chemistry? But they are, Deni, this is his second preseason game, so they got to learn how to play with each other. So I'm not concerned right now with bad body language. He definitely has to work on that. But as far as anybody, no, I don't see any issues right now. I think there's more of the media just trying to be what the media does, which is stir things up. Let's see, we're gonna do a couple more. Oh man. Shout out to Heliel Mogul. Enjoy listening to your streaming, although it's 5:30 a.m. in Israel. Man, look, appreciate you. 5:30 in the morning, man, did you rock with me? Appreciate you. I definitely appreciate that, man. Let's see. Everybody get on Jordan Poole tonight, man. Look, you gonna have nights like this. I'm just saying. Dean Pomeroy said that Jordan Poole is a perfect player to help us lose games. You're gonna see nights like this, man. You're gonna see nights like this with Poole, man. He's young. You're going to see nights like this. We're going to do 2 more. I know I've been saying that. Let's see. Red Wings said it. Oh, no, hold on. Oh, this is a good one right here. Adam Henderson said we need to box out. Big problem. Boxing out is atrocious. Terrible. I mean, the boxing out, man. I mean, come on now. I know. I played ball. I know E played ball at a high level. Look, man, boxing out is what they teach you in high school, AAU, rec league, man. You got to learn how to box out. I mean, they're getting killed on the boards, man. They're getting killed. I mean, I'm concerned about the center position. I really am. Right now, I am concerned. So let's see. And this is gonna be the last one. This is funny, man. Real Wings on 1 says, "Who says white boys can't jump left?" I mean, look, Kispert, man. Look, he surprises you. He's got some ups. He can get those. He can make a couple posters here and there, man. So definitely don't sleep on Kispert and his ability to dunk on folk, man. So again, everybody, we're gonna go ahead and call it a night. Definitely shout out my main man Ed. definitely going to see my man the season opener against the Indiana Pacers. So definitely tune in, rock with us, man. But again, appreciate you guys, man. We got 66 people right now in the video, man. So definitely appreciate you guys taking the time on a Friday night to rock with me, man. But we're going ahead and call it a night, man, because like I said, this bourbon is giving me some looks, man. I got to roll it. So again, wherever you get your podcast, man, 5-star review is much appreciated if we earned it. On the YouTube side of things, man, like, subscribe, comment below. Let me know what you guys think, man. Is the center position and the lack of rebounding and paint defense an issue? Let me know down below. We're going to talk about it next time. So definitely appreciate you guys tonight, man. Everybody have a blessed weekend. Stay safe, drink responsibly, and I'll see you guys next time. And hail to the Wizards and peace. See y'all next time. Have a good weekend.